Look who's back.
Hi.
It has been a while.
I'm still alive.
She's still alive. We're still married.
We're having a great time,
Yeah,
actually.
there's been so many theories of like, oh.
Maybe they didn't work out.
Oh, really?
I mean, not a lot of that.
No, we are going strong. We've been married a year and a half. Love and life.
Still doing it, guys.
If anything, we're just busier than ever. It's kind of funny. Living together, I've actually filmed less than when we lived apart, which is
The
highly
irony,
ironic.
Very, completely. Yeah, the last video we did was a Gris Charnel video, at least long form videos. And that was a lot of fun. If you guys missed that, I don't know why. Grace is a hot commodity these days. So don't miss it when she's in the video. Watch that one here. And make sure you watch this one. If you're hearing me saying this, that means you're watching this video.
Thanks.
Good job. We're going to keep this as brief as we can. Today's video
Yeah,
is...
what are we doing?
You know, this is a topic I've gotten more requests for than I would ever expect. And I wouldn't say I've gotten a ton of requests, but I've been surprised by how many people, you know, in a semi-frequent basis, like, hey, can you do a video about fragrances that can transition from day to night? And I'm like,
That's so specific.
I don't think anyone wants to see that, but I'll consider it. And someone else says, hey, day to night, day to night. I'm like, okay, yeah, if you guys want to see that, then that's what we'll do. But as I put the video together, I'm like, you know, this is actually cool. It is functional in my life too. I do think about this in my own fragrance wearing. So we've got a selection of fragrances, 5 pairs of fragrances that I believe transition perfectly from daytime wear to nighttime wear. I tried to actually keep everything in-house. So each pair comes from the same house, if even better, the same collection. Just because you're dealing with a DNA that is found in both fragrances, it's gonna transition so much better. There's other ways you could do it. You can cross other wires from other brands and stuff, but I didn't have time to do all that experimenting. I want to keep this as simple as possible. So we got 5 pairs of day and night fragrances, and all Grace is going to do is smell them. We're just going to talk about them and comment on them. So everything we're going to talk about is linked down in the description. Let's dive right into it. First thing I should say is I lied. We have 6 pairs of fragrances. But this first pair is an honorable mention simply because the daytime in this pair is a fragrance you can no longer get anymore. Day and night.
Oh, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're smelling. But this is Justin's fragrance. This is Brass and Soul, which is what you can no longer get. It is the fresher, brighter daytime version of what is just barely still available.
Yes.
Second Soul, which we released last year at this time, limited edition. Yeah. It will sell out, absolutely. So if you've been waiting to buy it, it is amazing. It's very seductive and delicious. It's got a bright citrus top.
A little bit of bergamot in there.
Yep. And then the middle is a lot of myrrh.
Yeah, definitely myrrh, labdanum, tobacco, some smoke. Yeah, you know, the way I kind of try to characterize this scent, if you can imagine a barbershop style fragrance, but with a darkness, with a more enigmatic feel, something that is just more fit for the evening. There is a sweeter, warmer base that just kind of opens up and just becomes so expansive on the skin. I find that the scent develops quite a bit as it sits, and it really evolves. There's quite a great complexity in there. And yeah, as Grace was saying, you know, we've been running it for about a year now, which is so crazy to think.
Flies time.
Yeah,
Flies.
yeah, it really does. And we have been just blown away by your feedback, those of you who have checked it out. If you have been waiting, time's running out. You don't want to wait any longer. This is the perfect time to get it. I really did make it for the fall time. I made it for the cooler weather. So as we're rolling into these cooler months, especially getting towards holiday season, this is the time to really consider it if you want to get in on something limited edition that is from the heart, both of our hearts, honestly, and is truly the highest quality through and through, from juice to bottle to everything. And again, once it's gone, that's it. So I think that's all we really need to say about it. Don't want to make this whole video about it. Honorable mention. Brass and Soul is the honorable mention, of course, but Second Soul, you can still grab it. Now we'll truly get into the day-night combos. First, hit myself in the nose. Day and night. And you can just say what you think. If you prefer one over the other, that's okay. You're welcome to say that, but they are meant to both have their own function.
This one definitely is a little bit brighter.
Definitely.
It's got kind of a creamy sharpness, which is kind of a weird
you're exactly
way of
right.
putting it.
That, I would totally agree. Creamy sharpness. Ginger is actually a good little component in there. That is bringing some sharpness, some of that bright spice.
But it's soft. It's not like this really bright, citrusy, over the top.
Exactly. The creaminess, as you mentioned, I think balances out that sharpness. There's some sweetness in there too. What do you think of that
You
one?
can definitely smell the DNA
Yeah.
in this from that. I would say this one is a little bit sweeter and definitely deeper, more complexity even on paper.
Okay.
What am I smelling?
Cool. Hold these. I'll grab the bottles. So daytime, you're smelling L'Homme from Yves Saint Laurent, the classic, one of my first designer loves. This really kind of kickstarted my
It smells so good.
fragrance journey. And then the nighttime version, La Nuit de L'Homme. I love them both.
Me too.
It's hard to really pick one over the other, which is why I think they both work. They both can have a place in your collection. They're not redundant by any means. This is like my favorite version of a flanker. When you have a flanker that doesn't just create redundancy in your collection, it actually serves a new purpose. It takes the DNA in a new direction and again gives it new functions. So this is a great pair to consider. They don't really get much talk these days. They've fallen out of limelight. This one is still holding on, but people complain it doesn't perform like it used to. I don't care. Scent profile is good. So
It's great.
yeah. All right. Next pair, day and night.
Yeah, this definitely has like a sharp greenness at the top. A little bit of a creamy powderiness, maybe.
Okay. Definitely
Yeah.
green for sure.
And this has a heavy, kind of a smoky, maybe vetiver.
I think there's some vetiver in there.
You feel like you're getting this expansive spectrum,
Yeah.
light to dark.
That's a great way to put it. Yes. Want to know what you're smelling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
From Shawn Crenshaw, the Ovation for Men line. I imagine a lot of you didn't know this. I have talked about the original Ovation for Men on and off over the past few years. I love this fragrance and I'm so thrilled to have come back to it, especially since they came out with the flanker Ovation Sport. This is brand new. It just dropped within the past month, I want to say. And it is kind of what it sounds like. It is a sport flanker. It is a fresher, almost more aquatic version of the original Ovation. Again, I'm so glad I'm coming back to this. I love this fragrance. It has this versatility to it, the original, but there is, when you put them side by side, there is a dark and light component. And it wasn't until they came out with the sport. Now there's a contrast. And again, the DNA is in there. You can smell the original in the sport version, which is super fun. If you like the original, you might find this one even more versatile. But I think the aquatic component in it makes it more daytime appropriate for sure, more bright. Whereas this is just kind of like sexy evening, but not trying too hard. There's something real casual about it in terms of its demeanor. It's not the most like off the wall, super formal type of niche fragrance at all. It's a super easy wearing experience, but classy.
Casual elegance.
She could have just said that, and I could have saved whatever the 45 seconds I just spent.
I mean, I just like listening to you talk, so
I'll take
biased.
that. I'll take that. Day, night.
Have I smelled these before?
You have, but it's maybe been a while.
Oh, wow.
Do they
these
smell
are
similar?
super different to me.
Okay. I do get a DNA in there, but they're separated by a lot of years. So I wouldn't be
Interesting.
surprised. it's in
Yeah,
there.
definitely brighter. Kind of a green citrus here in the day. Definitely has a little bit of a dustiness to it, but I also could be smelling the paper.
Possibly.
The night is a lot warmer.
Yeah.
Almost like a sweet vanilla or tonka bean. I'm sure that there's more of the DNA when it's freshly sprayed, but this is dried down.
To be
So
quite
I
different.
can't,
Yeah.
I can't really smell the DNA crossover, but there's a little bit of it in the center.
Agree. Yeah. I can hold these. I'll reveal and then I'll explain. That was weird. Why did I say it like that? We have from Cartier, Pasha, EDT, and Parfum. Right? So EDT came out in 1992. They may have reformulated it mildly. I think it still probably smells similar to how it did in the early 90s, which might as well be the late 80s. It does have a little bit of a vintage feel to it, the daytime version. It's a barbershop fragrance. It is a fougere, but it has an edge to it, almost animalic in a way, but not quite there.
Honestly, not to counter you, I would never have guessed that this was a vintage fragrance.
Really?
Yeah, to me it smells like I can smell that when you say it.
Yeah.
But it smells very modern.
I agree. It's timeless.
It's timeless.
For being a fougere from this era, and
Yeah.
the fact that it's still on shelves.
Yeah.
That speaks for itself too. Again, maybe they tweaked it here and there to keep it modern, but I think there's a special quality in there that feels like it's been left over from the original. But the Parfum is definitely modern. This is definitely a more updated version, even relatively speaking. Again, this isn't terribly outdated, but they darkened it up. They kind of stripped away some of the freshness. There's a boozy quality. There's an ambery, resinous quality, some darker woods, creamy, smooth.
Delicious.
And yes, again, perfect.
So
like if you're working in the office and you want something fresh and authoritative, this is a great one to consider. And maybe you're headed out with the guys to grab a drink, loosen up the tie a bit after work is over, and you throw this in your bag or something like that. You just spray this right on top because this will last. I find this fragrance to be pretty strong, easily 8+ hours, but nonetheless, you can spray this one on. It'll layer beautifully and it'll take you into the night. So I think this is a great day to night pair. I think more people might take to this one. This is not everyone's taste, but I still think you should try it.
It smells great.
Cartier is just quality that not enough people talk about. So start talking about it, guys.
Yeah.
Day, night.
Wow, I just put it in my mouth. Maybe cut that part out.
I will cut it out. I just forgot where the nose was. That's all right.
Day, this one's so delicious.
Yes. They should be pretty similar. If they smell kind of the same, you're doing it right.
This smells so good.
This is one that you've worn quite a bit, but maybe not this season. Probably the last time you wore it was the springtime.
Well, oh, is this Starbucca? No.
I can see where you're coming from with that.
It smells so familiar. It's so funny. It's actually kind of reminding me of the DNA of Ross's Business Over Pleasure.
That makes sense.
There's something in it that smells similar.
That makes perfect sense.
But I know that that's not what it is because I haven't worn that a lot. I know that the minute that you tell me what this is I'm going to be so annoyed that
She's going to be really annoyed, but we're not going to judge you.
It smells a little bit sweet, really soft, a little airy.
Yeah.
Very unisex, I would say, like middle of the road.
Definitely.
This one is definitely darker, almost has a smoky quality, but it still has that airiness, which is really, I always find it amazing when a smell can have, I feel like these bring up like a scene.
That's the hope. Not every fragrance does that.
Yeah.
But the ones that we like do. You can hold these.
Okay.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, no.
Gris Charnel.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The Eau de Parfum and the Extrait. Naturally, you can just look at the bottles here.
I have worn these a lot, but it has been a while.
It has been a while. They perfectly transition day to night. Honestly, you could probably do the Eau de Parfum in the night too, but if you're going to put them side by side and mark one for one occasion, one for the other occasion, I think it's an easy split. Iris.
Oh, yeah.
Is what was tying it to
right.
Business Over Pleasure. And it's a clean iris, mildly powdery, not really all that powdery, but you also have tea, you have cardamom.
The tea.
Fig as well. And it's such a unique but just perfectly harmonious blend of ingredients.
It smells so good. It really is a seamless blend.
It is. Yeah, nothing really screams out. It has its own identity. I think the main difference between the two, you described this one perfectly. I think the Extrait version is a little bit more bottom heavy. It's a little less fresh, a little less transparent. Sandalwood is pretty present in both of them. And in the Extrait, it gets really dusty and dry.
That's what I was going to say exactly, is when I wear the Extrait, by the end of the day, it's just this really soft, dusty, creamy sandalwood.
It's so good.
It smells so good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I always get compliments when I wear them. I'm not promising that.
Nothing wrong with getting compliments, guys, but don't buy them for that reason. Final pair.
Okay. Ooh, this is so fun.
This one's a little bit of a curveball. Day and night. A little bit of
day smells so fresh and delicious.
Yeah.
It's like a bright green citrus. Also familiar. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like these are perfect. This one picks up where this one leaves off. It's hard to manage that on paper, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I feel like this one takes the greenness and then takes it into a whole different landscape with some kind of woody, spicy yumminess.
Agreed. Yes.
Okay, I'll hold them.
Okay, so Ganymede from Marc-Antoine Barrois and Kenzo Pour Homme Eau de Parfum. Now, obviously, you can see we're breaking the mold here. These are not coming from the same house, but they are coming from the same perfumer.
Ooh.
And they are known to kind of resemble one another. In fact, there's another fragrance from another house that kind of makes this little trifecta, this little love triangle, where they all kind of smell similar and they're all kind of trading ideas and stuff, but they're not all exactly the same. This is my logic here. Ganymede is more of a, you kind of said green. I totally get that. Violet leaf.
Yeah.
There's a green metallic type of freshness here. There's a smooth suede leather, but that comes out more on skin in the dry down. And in terms of this picking up where it left off, I agree. There is that kind of suede component in this one, but it's there right from the get-go. It's technically an aquatic, but it's darker. There's a dark, like smoky suede feel to this aquatic scent. So immediately you're thinking the sun's going down. If you want to wear an aquatic for the evening, this is a great one. I don't have a lot of aquatics I would pick up for the evening. Some find it a little weird, and I get that.
I had this visual image that came to me while you were talking. When I think of the metallic in Ganymede, I think of what happens when the sun hits water, and it's that bright, flashy.
Yes.
It really comes off the skin, but it's not a sharp, sterile metallic. It's that warm, bright, inviting. And then I would say that the other one is kind of the water directly under the surface, where you get that darker blue.
Yes. I mean, just like this bottle is the perfect representation of that. So yeah, well said. I totally agree. So yeah, not exactly the same. Again, a little bit outside of the rules, but we made the rules. We can break the rules. We bent them. I'll just say that. So anyway, that is our last pair, Ganymede and Kenzo Pour Homme Eau de Parfum. All right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Awesome, Grace. Great to have you back for another video.
Great to be here. If you guys like seeing me, let us know.
Yes. Give us a like. And obviously, you can comment too. Use your words. That helps too. Anyway, thank you.
Subscribe if you haven't.
That's one of the biggest ways you can show us,
and then
for sure.
Date and night it up. Have fun out there.
Yes. There's going to be links to all the fragrances we talked about down in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. See you in the next one.